Jake here to check out yet another new blaster under the Adventure Force line from Busby Toys. This time, the Alpha Auto 72. Now here to check out the Alpha Auto 72. This is a brand new, full auto, drum fed flywheel blaster that operates off of 6 AA's and has a dual stage trigger, meaning you can pull halfway to get it to rev and then pull the rest of the way to fire. Now, this is not a brand new concept. Busby's done this before. The Cyclonic and the Brute are two that come to mind, very, very commonly known among a lot of people. One of the most recent ones that they have done, and people have forgotten, is the Power Mech. This featured the exact same principle, a dual stage trigger, drum-fed blaster. Now, the Power Mech had a much lower capacity, and the drum is kind of the star of the show here with this setup. That is a 72-round dual-stacked drum. Now, it actually features a unique feature of being rear-fed without having to bend your darts. Yeah, I know, some brands out there actually expect you to bend your darts to fit them in the blaster. Doesn't sound like a great idea for the durability of the darts. This does not do that. It's actually pretty simple, and I will inset a loading close-up for you here. Okay, to load the Alpha Auto 72, it's pretty simple. You just take any of your darts, load from the rear. This is the rear hand of the blaster, and then load one in. It drops down into the drum. Load another. Just keep doing that. The first dart you load drops down in the slotted space, and then you can just continue on. No bending of darts required, as in some other blasters. And you're loaded. All 72. Very simple. We'll spin the drum around to an empty spot here. Just take one dart, in it goes, let it drop down, stack another one right on top of it. Just keep going. And yes, I did the close-up, but here it is in real time. Just keep throwing darts in. And you can top off. You don't have to do two in one spot. You can just load one and then keep going. If you're in a hurry, it doesn't matter. Like here, as you see, there is one here, one here, one here, nothing here, and then goes on. It's fine. It has a little arm, which we'll get into that here in a second. The drum itself is easy to detach. They've made it very removable. It comes detached in the package, and you have a little arm that goes through and locks into place. It has a little button you have to depress. Once you've taken the drum, it does have a one direction fit, so it has a little U on the clear portion to help guide you. But once you have your drum, you can even take it off for quick loading. But put it in place, put your rod to hold it in place, make sure it locks, you're good to go. You get, for $29.99, you get the blaster, of course the drum and the locking rod, and this little removable sight. It has a little flip-up feature. It's kind of neat. I actually like it. It's simple, and it works. And you also get included the stock here, and I have already done a little short video showing this stock attachment point is compatible with Nerf stocks. So your favorite end strike stock that you have, like say the good old Raider stock that's adjustable in length, you can pop the Busby stock off if you want and put any of your favorite Nerf stocks on there. Or use the included one, which is a actually very solid stock. I'm quite impressed with it, to be honest. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with the whole blaster, because the build quality of this and the ergonomics are a definite step above recent offerings. The grips, as you can see, are huge. Here's my hand. This is an XL to XXL size hand, according to glove sizes. This grip swamps my hand. I actually have enough room almost to put two hands on that thing. That is fantastic. Front grip, it's a little bit of a reach out there, which is kind of nice to stretch out. And it's also comfortable. It has a little bit of a different contour. This is smooth and no edges. This is a little more squared off up front. But all in all, you actually have room without having to stretch so far that you contact the drum. Now that would be a concern, because the drum, holding 72 darts, they've done a good job of making it slim. As you can see, aim forward, you don't bump into it, and even if you did, I don't think you would affect the rotation, because this clear shield would be what you would contact. If you had shorter arms and you were really having to stretch, you could actually rest that against your arm and it would still rotate. Now, it runs off of the 6 AA's. There's a small access door here with 2 Phillips screws. You just unscrew those, pop it out, and they're in alternating patterns. And it does have 2 notches on the front of the door to prevent you from accidentally reversing it. But otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward blaster. It does also have a nice smooth jam door right here. So if you did have a jam, you could easily clear it out. I haven't had any jams. I fired a number of drums through, and it's easy to rack up hundreds of shots. If you fire 5 drums worth, you've already fired over 250 shots, which I did that really quick. I'm probably up over about 400 shots now, 400 or 500, because this thing is fun. Genuinely is. Even in the 96-degree weather that we're having, it is fun. But what I have to say about this, at $29.99, I haven't even mentioned the performance yet. At $29.99 with quality construction, I mean, this has literally none of the creaking of some recent Busby releases. It has good ergonomics. If there were anything, it would be that I have to kind of choke up a little bit on the stock. But that's pretty easy to remedy with any stock that you have already that you like. Or I wouldn't be opposed to adding on a little extra extension here. Wouldn't be too hard to put a 3D printed piece here, epoxy it on. If you need an extra inch or so of room to stretch out, okay, that's not that hard to do. But I think they've done a really good job. And I hadn't talked about the performance. On my chronograph, while firing full auto, and as that I mean firing consistently like that, I was able to achieve an average of 82 feet per second with the included long distance darts. Other darts didn't really affect the performance much in one way or the other. They did feed reliably though. My only hiccup I've ran into, it has been once or twice, the second dart being skipped. You have the 2, there's the top and the lower dart. The lower dart has a couple times been skipped. Not a huge deal. I'm not meaning like, not even once per drum. About once every other drum, I'll look in there, there'll be maybe 1 or 2 here or there. And quite simply, if I just spin the drum back over to where it feeds, and then let it run through, it'll normally just spit it out. And that's not a big deal to me. If it was more pronounced, I would call it an issue. But 1 or 2 darts every 2 or 3 drums worth of darts being fired, getting skipped, not that big a deal. So, again, 82 feet per second has been my average under full auto. If I'm willing to sit there and carefully, and the rate of fire is low enough, you could single fire this with no problem. When I'm willing to sit there and let it rev to full and fire 1, I was actually achieving an extra couple of feet per second. I was actually getting an average of 84. And this is on Rayovac maximum batteries. They're, nothing extraordinary, but on the Rayovac maximum batteries, I was getting 84 feet per second under single fire, and under full auto, 82. So, pretty good performance out of a nice feeling, and the only thing left is looks, and that's really up to you. I kind of like the crazy colors. I mean, but let's not be shy about it. You've got orange, blue, green, yellow, and purple. Orange, green, blue, yellow, purple. 5 colors. That's a lot. Let's not be shy about that. It really is. But they're not going for anything like realistic looking, which would be pretty easy to do. I mean, if you wanted to paint this up, it's going to look like a Thompson pretty fast. So, I kind of like it. I kind of like keeping a toy looking like a toy. Personal opinion, appearances on blasters are definitely in the eye of the beholder. But for $29.99, you get above average performance, a way above average comfort, and good build quality. For especially considering, you know, other Busby offerings in the Adventure Force line. This is a big step up, and I am actually thrilled with this. This is probably going to take... It's probably going to take either the number 1 or number 2 spot in my favorite Busby flywheelers ever made. And that's saying a lot, because they made the Brute. But I'm somebody who actually isn't the hugest fan of mags. So give me a high capacity drum to where I can run just a pouch of darts, and I'm a happy guy. give me a high capacity drum, pouch of darts, and a good sidearm. I'm happy. And this does that. And it does it in a good way. Good package. Again, I have very few complaints. And at $29.99, it's not pushing the price up higher and higher like everything else in this world is. That makes me happier. So, I'm pretty thrilled with this. I'm actually very thrilled with this. This thing it's been fun to use, fun to run around and just run and gun. So, I hope that you're sensing my enthusiasm for it. And I know some people are going to think that I'm just being a Busby fanboy. But, I mean, I am, but I'm not. This thing is genuinely fun to use. And that's the goal. It's 82 feet per second, full auto, 72 shot capacity drum-fed blaster that you can go pick up at your local Walmart for $29.99. What's to complain about? Okay, you might not like the color, but I'm okay with it. And I can paint it if I don't like the color of it. And I need like 5 more. I need like 5 more so I can do all kinds of different hydro dips and paint jobs. Yeah. I think that's the order of the day. But yeah, I need like 5 of these to show up in a box so I can just do hydro dip after hydro dip and be happy to my heart's content. Because I love this thing. And that's where I'm going to leave the review. I absolutely adore the new Alpha Auto 72. It's either the best or the second best flywheel blaster that Busby has ever made. And that's just up to you with the Brute. Do you like the mags or do you like the drum? So, say tie for first spot. Best flywheel blaster Busby's ever made? Maybe. Just, that drum's pretty awesome. And I might take that over a stack of mags. So for me, I'm going to say it is my favorite flywheel that Busby's ever made. That's how high a praise I have for it. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. My review of the Adventure Force Alpha Auto 72 by Busby Toys.